but it didn't.
All right. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Invite you to stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for showing up. Pretty outstanding. You guys are dedicated. I appreciate it. All right.
I'd also like to say thank you for rescheduling. I really appreciate it.
The third item on the agenda is the election of the chairperson and vice chair for the board.
Yes. I will note that later on in your packet, there's also commissioner term updates. It is Sharon and Phil, I believe, that we're both up. Phil, I believe, has since turned in his application. Sharon, is there anything?
Yeah, I am not planning on renewing, so.
No.
Yeah, I think I've been doing this for about 10 years, so.
And it's been a
Yeah,
wonderful tenure.
yeah, it has.
Oh. That's sad.
Yeah, it is sad.
Now we have to break in somebody new. All right, well, that being said, nominations are open for the chairperson for the Parks and Trails Commission.
I nominate Tom. Okay, there we go.
Is there a second?
I second.
Are you interested?
Well, you know, this summer I will turn 75.
Wow.
And I know that's hard to believe,
Wow.
but I am feeling like 75 is going to be long enough. I've been on a couple of boards where there was this old geezer trying to lead and he kind of stumbles through the agenda and forgets where he is. And I'm fast coming up on that. So I think this should be my last year. I've had a long run. I've enjoyed every single minute. I'd like to stay on the board and the commission, but not as chair, which means that this will be it. So I'm delighted to do it. It is wonderful. After this many years and with somebody kind of directing me.
Yeah, help.
Wait, where's Brad? I don't see him.
That's pretty good. Any other nominations? All right, all in favor of Tom?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, vice chair.
I'll nominate Phil. Me too.
Good.
I second that.
I don't know that you can't.
Is he on?
No,
Okay.
no, he was unable to make it tonight. I would say if he wants to turn it down later, then we just revote at the next meeting.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan.
That was perfect.
Okay, so
That was good.
motion by Val, second by Judy.
Other nominations? All right, all in favor of Phil? For vice chair?
Aye.
I'll send him an email after.
Congratulations.
Let him know.
Just tell them to watch the beginning of the movie.
So all of you have been now on the commission for at least a little while. And so Jessica and I get together monthly to sort of a week and a half before this meeting to set the agenda, kind of make sure that things are running smoothly. And that and we do that during the day, but we could probably modify that to be at the very end of the day or at some other time during the day. If somebody would like to kind of see what it's like doing the job that I do, so that a year from now you would feel comfortable stepping into that role, or if Phil is comfortable moving up to chair and you've moving up to vice chair, that would be really fun. That's sort of the way that it should run, so that you don't feel like you're just going in, I know nothing. We would like to avoid that.
And something else to note, I have been in discussions with Jessica Bizey, the city administrator, and we've talked about maybe doing like a training in potentially March, just because it helps reestablish the bearings. Sorry, Sharon, now you're leaving.
Yeah, no, I don't know what I'm doing.
It's not too late. Your application.
I've never had any training.
So we're talking about potentially doing a training so that it helps kind of redo the bearings and get everyone kind of on the same page. So if that makes a difference at all for future.
Good, thank you. Lovely. All right, so we have item 4, agenda approval. Any additions or corrections to the agenda? Val, your head went up. I thought you were gonna have something to say.
Nope.
Nope, you're good.
Nothing
Okay.
new here.
All right.
Okay, I'll move to approve the agenda.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right. Further comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, minutes from October.
Yeah,
October.
crazy, huh?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Any corrections or additions to the minutes?
I wasn't there.
A motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Jessica. That's another lovely job on the minutes.
I think I've got 2 in a row now. We're back on a streak.
Open forum.
If anyone on the call on Zoom would like to speak, now would be your opportunity if you want to use the raise hand function or press *9 if you're dialing in. Seeing none, I think we're good.
Okay. No presentations, unfinished business, city park remaster update.
Good evening, all. So, as you are aware, we have been working on the City Park Remaster project. We got the 30% design, so those were the concept plans that are pictured on the screen. Following that, they went to you guys. You guys said, I'm sorry, you all said this was good. It looked good. You wanted it to go to council, so it went to council. Council approved the plans at the 30% design. And then at a staff level, we were all kind of discussing it and going, okay, now we're supposed to go out for this RFP or this request for, oh gosh, we
Proposal.
did RFP and RFQ so many times that we interchanged them. So I think this one's going for an RFP
Says RFP on.
Yep,
it anyway.
yep.
Mhm.
because we weren't fully sure that we can get the prices for the proposal part of it yet. So with this, we're also still going off of 30% design. With that, we don't have as much information as we would be comfortable with to move forward with going out for bonding this year. Because 30% design does not give us a lot of details, and if you over bond, then you're paying all of that back, and if you under bond, where are you going to find the money? So the plan is right now, we're still working through the RFP. That should be to the lawyer within the next couple of weeks for review, and then it would go out to the consultants. And then it would come back, and the anticipated plan is that we could bond for it in 2024, like the beginning part of 2024, which would provide us a more accurate number for budget. It would put us in a much better position as far as funding goes, because then we know how much we need to be getting almost to a T, which would be a lot easier. So at this point, we've been working on it, but there have been additional priorities that have kind of floated to the surface. Seasonal things such as the holiday toy and food drive, the ice rinks, the other miscellaneous winter activities. So the RFP should be done at the staff level by the next meeting, and then ideally to the consultants by March 1st is the goal. So through the lawyer, through everything out to the public by March 1st. We're still waiting to hear back from the Hennepin County Youth Sports Grant. I've reached out to them. I actually looked at the website and it looked like they had already awarded everything. And I reached out and I said, hey, I hadn't heard anything. It looks like we maybe hadn't won or been awarded the grant. And she said, oh, that's weird. I'll look into that because that isn't necessarily true. So I haven't heard back yet, but I'm still keeping my fingers crossed. But I would still plan to apply in 2023 as well,
Mhm.
because where's the harm? And then that was pretty much the entire, I wanted to make sure I hit all my notes, but that's kind of everything. So I would be more than willing to take any questions. Like I said, it's just been kind of a series of unfortunate events. And when we looked at it and said, we really don't have finalized costs as much as we would like, it was just trying to be more financially responsible with the city's money. And it seemed like the better option. So it's still moving forward. We're still making progress on it. I'd love to show you I think we're up to 18 or 10 and 15 pages or something for the RFP. If you want to see it, I'd be more than willing to show you it in progress, but it's not quite done yet.
Carry on.
Thank you. I have looked at numerous other cities. I'm trying to make sure that we do it right. We get exactly what we're looking for and we don't send something out that then we're going, oh, we didn't ask for XYZ and we meant to. So it's being very thorough. And so I apologize for the delay, but I appreciate the patience.
So the RFP, is that the 30% design level? Or is
That
it-
would be 70%.
That's what moves us from
Mhm.
30 to 70.
Correct. So the way it'll work, we'll go out for RFP. And then the consultants will bid in their proposals. We'll take a look at them, review them at a staff level, and then potentially interview them if need be, the consultants themselves. And then bring it back to you guys. You will make a recommendation to council. And then council will look at it and say, the Parks and Trails knows exactly what they're doing. They are so smart. Or they'll say, maybe we go with this other consultant. And then we'll proceed forward and starting that actual 70% design portion.
So the people that are going to be responding to this RFP are consultants as opposed to contractors.
Correct. So these would be the people putting together the design itself. Not necessarily putting a shovel in the
It's not
ground.
the guys who are going to
Correct.
move the dirt and put up the swing sets.
Correct.
We might redo the fields, cut down the trees. All those.
We will avoid the cutting down of trees as much.
As much,
I'm sure.
it's
Yes.
all those steps. Okay, well, thank you. That makes things a little clearer.
That was kind of the goal. I feel like you guys deserved at least an explanation, so I would be more than willing though, if you have any questions after this that pop into your head, don't hesitate to reach out. As always.
Perfect.
So bonding then would take place a year from now?
Yes,
And then once we have the money, then we let contracts?
well, we'd have to go to 100% design as well. So it'll be 30, 70, and then 100% final design. But a good portion of it gets done at 70%, and it's kind of more fine tuning in that last 30% is my understanding.
So we would actually move some earth late next year.
I would hope so.
And
Mhm.
in the meantime, park is still fully functional this year. So kids get to play ball.
And don't you worry, registration is open. I've got numbers for Val for Corcoran resident.
Good job.
Every spring.
It opened in January. I mean, no, we'll get to it, but was it January?
Mhm.
Thank you. That was very helpful. I got a better picture.
Mhm.
All right, new business. Again, public, this is the year in review and 2023 priorities, speaking old.
If anyone on the call would like to speak, please use the raise hand function or press *9. And seeing none, it looks like we are good to go.
Okay.
Alrighty, so in 2022, you guys reviewed plans for various developments, including Bechtold Farms, Corcoran Substation, Karanimi Meadows. You had 9 meetings, 1 work session. The work session, if you recall, was on the city park remaster concept plans. And then you also recommended city council approval which then turned into council approval of the Diamond Lake Regional Trail Master Plan, which quite honestly, I think is huge in accomplishments. That's massive. So I think 2022 was a great year, but I think 2023 is going to be even better. As Chairperson Anderson told you earlier, we do meet monthly to kind of talk through all of this. And earlier this month, we actually discussed what 2023 would look like and maybe some goals that we're looking at, pulling some of the ones from 2022, as we didn't quite accomplish all of them that we had set out to do. I will say we did have quite a few goals. So I think we had shot for the moon. We reached the stars, just not quite the moon. So for 2023, keeping them a little more realistic, honed in and specific, we're looking at the Diamond Lake Regional Trail. So continuing to work with Three Rivers Park District to develop that trail and continue acquiring sections and segments of that. The open space park and boardwalk in the Bellwether development. So staff will continue to provide updates as far as that's concerned. And then we'll hopefully get into the design aspect this year and then start bringing designs to you guys, start making headway on that. City Park remaster, continue finding funding, start up that RFP for 70% design, get that out to everyone and start really making headway on that. And then apply for the Hennepin County Youth Sports Grant in the fall of 2023. Park dedication fund allocations. As you guys are aware, we have many park projects on the list and we are looking towards the future and how the money will play into that. So looking at the park dedication that's in there now and determining what pieces of that park dedication do you want to go to which parks. And later on, I'll talk about the development and park standards update, but that'll play into this as well. But education signs at Wildflower Park, we had discussed this briefly last year. Its intention is to educate people on the natural features at the park. So the wildflowers, maybe some various grasses, just to kind of give an educational side as well as a recreational side. Gets people a little more involved in the natural resources side. So that's kind of exciting. And then development and park standards update. So creating a version of what the commission would like for various types of park standards. So what would you like to see in a neighborhood park? Is it that you want it to be a standard that you have a tot lot in every park and maybe a basketball hoop, or you want one type of active amenity and maybe one type of passive recreation amenity? So it's kind of figuring out what your vision is and maybe more developing that vision so that we can continue moving forward and not get stuck so much in one spot when we're trying to plan these parks. If we have a starting point, we can at least start to branch out. Any thoughts, questions, concerns on the 2022 year in review or 2023 priorities?
Good. It's busy.
That's why Sharon was like, see ya.
Yeah.
Sounds stressful.
I
No.
have a quick question.
We're good.
ahead.
We have like an example or a map that shows like all of our proposed trails.
Yes. It's in the comp plan. Let's pull it up. It might
Like,
take me a second.
That's okay. Does it have the Diamond Lake Regional one in there too? I was like,
No, because the comp plan wouldn't have been updated, but they aligned a lot of the trail with the predetermined trail
sure.
or the proposed trail locations throughout the
'Cause
city.
It could be helpful, like going into this next year, if we're going to be looking at trails again, just to see maybe where that's, how it actually looks with everything. Cause I thought I'd seen one like in the comp plan, obviously, but then I couldn't remember if I'd seen one with the new Diamond Lake Regional Trail with just the trails, nothing else on it, but just the trails.
I would have to look into that.
Yeah, you know, kind of the way this has worked is that when a development comes in, then we go to that map and say, for the development, there would be some park dedication and it's either going to be money or trail. If there's a trail on the map, then we would take the trail in lieu of some of that money. But that's as opposed to going to a homeowner and saying, we would like to buy some trail. That might happen at some point. But it would be, a spot where we've got a development on one side, a development on the other side, and we're just missing that link. We're not there yet, so that's pretty much what we would predict would happen in this coming year. As some of those developments come in. But yeah, to keep our eye on that is really important. And if every once in a while the road gets improved and there is a trail that is supposed to be next to that road, that would be a chance then to move that forward as well. Since they're moving dirt and doing all that, you might as well get the trail ready to go too. As I look through for the schedule, we have a park tour scheduled for September. Or on the proposal for September. And I would be really interested in getting out to look at the open space park at Bellwether in the spring, as soon as the snow is gone, before the mosquitoes come out. Because we haven't been out there. Sharon and I went
Yeah,
out and
I'd say it's like February or something.
marked trees. Several years ago. now.
A couple of years.
I think it would be really nice to get out there again. Maybe go with Kevin or somebody and have us take a look at what that space looks like. It's beautiful. I mean, it is just, it really is pretty. It really is nice. And it's a great feature. Get out there and see what those trails, they cleared the trails,
Yeah,
but they won't be clear now.
right.
Because the shrubbery will come back, mostly about clearing.
Yeah,
And then come back.
it was in pretty good shape though.
Was it?
Yeah, I don't think there were too many invasive.
It wasn't. It was,
Yeah.
in most spaces, it was pretty
Pretty
good.
mature.
You think May would be a better month?
May? Sure, April, May, somewhere in there. Yeah,
Hopefully the snow's gone by the end of April.
yeah. Yeah. We get,
Or when our meeting is, maybe it's not the end. of
Or did we want to
April.
go snowshoeing?
Uh-huh.
that would be another option.
I will ask Jess what is required to do something like
Yeah.
that, and then we can go from there.
It might have to be a special meeting. So that we could just do it and then go, as opposed to doing that and then coming back here, doing a regular meeting. Do a work session out there.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm
thinking.
thinking. It might have to be.
If we get it we just have to post it. Because we'll be a group of the commission there, and by open meeting law, we have to,
I think that's just 3 days prior, so we got plenty of time.
we have plenty of time.
Should be good as far as that's concerned.
And for those in March, there's discussion of the open space park and the boardwalk. For those of you who haven't been on the commission for as long. Bellwether is on one side of a wetland and the open space park is on the other side of that wetland, and there is supposed to be a boardwalk going from one to the other. And it's, at some point we were talking to contractors, we were
Mhm.
almost ready, and that was
Right before COVID, I think.
right before COVID, yeah, so that's been a while. And so we're that's still on the list, and
We still meet about it pretty frequently as
Yeah.
a staff. We're just trying to figure out the logistical side of financing and who's paying for what and who's bidding it and the background stuff
backgrounds.
before the fun design stuff.
I was gonna ask, has there been any designs yet?
Briefly, there was like kind of a half plan,
Yeah, a couple
But-
different ideas.
Yeah, we talked about it.
no construction documents or anything to that extent. It was more aesthetically like, what kind of railing would you like? What kind of materials would you like? Do you want a toe lip? Am I missing any other?
We talked a little bit
With-
about materials.
Mhm.
Do you want some space partway? It's fairly long, so there'd be
Bump outs?
opportunity to have some bump outs so that people can
Observing.
look for minnows.
Yeah.
Is it, I'm just trying to picture it. Is it like I know that there's a boardwalk over behind Wayzata off of Peony. That one goes across the wetland, but it's really high. Is this one lower or is it? So it's low to the, okay. So probably no railings, or there will be railings.
Well, we talked about a little bit of a raise on the edge in case somebody is in a wheelchair or something.
It sounds like it might be higher up than anticipated depending on the water levels.
Okay,
So that's where a railing might be something that we talk about a little more
Mhm.
seriously, just because it could be a potential drop if the water starts to
Mhm.
go down.
right. Or,
Or you drop into the water, which still is not good.
so. There's another access to the trail, isn't there, from
Yep,
the other part?
Yep,
Yes.
to get in through Amberley as well.
Okay.
Okay. But it's not as high as that one then. Do you know what I'm talking about? The one behind the
I don't.
Wayzata. It's just down Peony. We should drive up there sometime. It's really pretty. It's really neat the way they designed it, but it's pretty high up. Like I'd say at least 10 or 15 feet high up. But it overlooks like the whole wetland area. It's stunning. It's really pretty. Super cool.
Mhm.
This is long enough. It's not like it's one arch. It's gonna have multiple pilings in the wetland and then
Cool.
built between those. So there's no need to go high.
Okay.
There's no large traffic underneath, so.
No.
No,
It's
no
like
need for a
green.
lift bridge.
Duluth looked good.
Corcoran is the new Duluth with the lift.
Lift bridge.
Something new for the water tower.
And, you know, the agenda for the month can be modified pretty much anytime. If stuff pops up, we absolutely should look to stay current with what's actually happening in town.
With keeping in mind that it does go out the week prior,
Yep.
so
Yes,
almost anytime.
almost, yeah.
At least a week in advance.
Or it just might be a month later than you really thought it was.
Correct. Yep. Just before someone comes in and goes, hey, I know the meeting's tomorrow, but can we add this in the packet?
Questions, comments? Active planning applications.
I will note, Councilmember Nichols is not on tonight, from what I see. So with that, if you do have questions, I will answer them to the best of my abilities, but it may be, let me get back to you on that.
Meeting I went to, the city council meeting, they talked about. Is it Pella? Warehouse on 55 in the neighborhood wanted to put in a light. But the only way to put in a traffic light is to put a gas station there, and they did not want that. So it was. Yeah, a lot of discussion about a traffic light that wasn't gonna happen. Because it's,
55 and where?
Trail.
Wheel,
Pioneer Trail,
Pioneer Trail and.
Pioneer
where
Trail,
Wagon
yeah,
Wheel is in back there.
yeah. And I think that it would be too close to the other light on 19, right?
It's pretty.
Yeah,
Pretty close.
to be
Yeah.
putting in
Pretty close,
another,
that's
so,
right.
yeah, it's.
Good.
They were trying to prevent trucks from going through the neighborhood. It
Mhm.
would be, yeah, pretty bad. That was the main part of my meeting on the 12th.
So, you have at the top, at your fingertips, the number of, how the housing and development is going. I keep hearing that housing starts are down. Is that true in Corcoran? It's true kind of globally, but do you have any notion? I know it's clearly not in your.
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest with you, I
Thank
am
you.
so swamped that I cannot,
That,
I cannot try and put
that
my,
was really a
We
blind.
can't say that there's only 3 lots left in Ravinia. In the Ravinia neighborhood.
Yeah.
There's only 3 lots remaining in there.
Wow.
And I think in the Tavera neighborhood, it's slated for like 500, a little over 500 houses.
I thought they said like 583,
Is that how many it was? I thought it was 483 for Ravinia. I misunderstood
but then
that.
she said Tavera was gonna be the biggest one.
Yeah. So over 500, it could be 583. I don't remember the exact number on that neighborhood, but I know it was over 500. And there's approximately 25 homes built there so far. So that's a substantial amount of homes still coming into Corcoran.
Yeah.
As far as like permits pulled, we didn't really discuss that today. Then the M&I homes, both sides of
That's like crossing.
thank you, Jess. That's like crossing are full.
Wow.
Those have been completed. And then there's also the Rush Creek up next to the park,
The
the
old
city park.
sawgrass.
But I think last time I drove through, there was still a lot of open lots there as well.
It's filling in though.
Yeah.
There's also an apartment on 30 and 101. They cut
concept
down a
sketch.
bunch of trees already.
that's-
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
So.
and yeah, and
But
it's
those
kind of a
are small
wetland.
eventually.
Yeah, yep. Chris is,
There's an apartment going there?
That's a
That's-
sketch plan, right?
yeah.
You're talking about where near Hope Community Church?
No, 101 and 30, it's number 12, but they've
Oh.
already cut down all the trees. So we were kind of wondering why that happened before.
Is they're gonna farm it?
Oh, I know you're talking.
You think?
I
Yep.
haven't heard anything about an apartment there.
Okay,
Is that where the
Okay.
sketch?
300 unit market rate suburban
On
apartment.
the corner of 116 and 30 over
Yeah,
by
that's
Hope
where
Community
they were-
Church.
city was.
So it'd be on
Oh.
the, I'd be on the, what is that, the west side? And
Okay.
this is on the east side, kind
Okay.
of.
Yeah,
corner
yeah.
From the Jake's
Yeah, okay,
on County Road 30.
okay. Yeah, in my head, the sketch plan was
I did too.
back
yeah.
over by, because it wasn't.
Yeah,
there
if you
just
ever
one
drive
there?
down 30. All the trees are.
Yeah, I
laying
saw,
on
I
their
saw that.
side. Yeah,
The Llama Farm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
right there.
it is.
Okay, that's what that is.
Oh,
We could
and it
ask
looks like
though.
We do have a raised hand.
Yes.
This one-
Hi,
Oh, hang on just one second.
okay,
Jess, I think
Okay, now try.
Mhm.
volume was turned
Oh.
down. Oh,
okay. It's Catherine Drivas. You know, the,
Your
in
address.
Cook- 6747 Old Sturbridge. In Cook Lake Highlands, Applewood Point just let the people on the waiting list know that that project now is pulled. So
Pulled?
that was,
Did she say?
yeah,
Oh,
pulled. Just got the email today. So that was the 100-unit, 62+ cooperative.
mhm.
So that was due to economic reasons. They just haven't had the response that they needed to have to start selling the units. So and they did, I mean, they did raise their prices and of course the interest rate. And they're pretty certain that's why. And I know it's on the council's work session for, I think, the end of February, to discuss the PUD, changes to the PUD. So, but anyway, that was 100 units,
Wow.
just so you know.
Thank
that's
you
good
very
to know.
much.
Yeah,
That's-
thank you.
That's really good information. Appreciate
Yeah.
that.
I'm bummed because I was on the list.
Oh,
Because
Aw.
I wanted to stay in Corcoran. So we'll see.
yeah.
But anyway, just thought you'd know.
Thank you,
Like,
Catherine.
Thank
We have
you.
St.
Thank
Therese
you.
too, St. Therese as a backup.
yeah,
How long that's
Yeah.
been.
though they're rental units in St. Therese.
Oh, they are,
Alright.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Good, thank you. Let's see.
So we should find out on that. Because that's like, I mean, weren't they busting dirt over there pretty good?
Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah.
like Mulligan steam shovels sitting out there.
That, I mean, that's not the whole thing though, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, we should find out.
I don't
There
think
was
so.
those. Oh, I was gonna say there's other.
There were so many parts to that project that
Mhm.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm back. In the infrastructure that's going in there is, I believe, partially for Maple Grove too, for that development in Maple Grove. So
Yeah, it's a complicated parcel.
Yeah.
right?
it is, yeah.
That's just disappointing to have that. All right.
Oh.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I'll look into it and get some more finalized information for everyone.
Shoot us an email.
All right, recreation supervisor update.
The Jessica show per usual. So things I've been up to, City Park, both in regards to the RFP that we're working on, as well as general reservations for 2023. I've already got, I think, 11 reservations for ball fields and 1 pavilion reservation so far. And we are 31 days into the year. So it's already off to a really good start. We had the holiday toy and food drive back in December. We raised $15,000 in toys through donations from community members, and then 1,000 pounds of food. So
Excellent.
for a first time, I would say,
Weather wasn't so good either, was it?
no, it was not.
pretty
It was
bad.
Bad.
No, and there were still people standing outside, happy to see
Is
us.
that
I
the
mean,
rain?
yep,
Rain?
Oh,
Again.
no.
Uh-huh.
which was really sad because last year we canceled because there was a thunderstorm. So
Yeah.
this year we were like,
Weird.
I think we can do it.
Doing it.
So we did, and it, as far as I'm concerned, I think it was very successful. People seemed to really enjoy themselves. We got a lot of positive feedback from the community, so. And it made my heart happy, so I'll call it a success.
Some people are actually waiting outside
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
in the rain.
in the rain. Yep.
It was awesome.
So you could come here as well.
Yep.
If
Yep,
you're not
we
in the
ended here.
neighborhood. Okay.
Um,
You know how that works.
So in addition to that, we're starting to plan for 2023. So the dates, in case you guys wanted to write them down, are December 12th as the main date. And if we have inclement weather, because we've got 2 years in a row now, the 13th is the backup date. So just the very next day, that way we don't have to dismantle all the cars once we have them all set up and ready to go. Other things, youth athletics, so soccer. I've been kind of prepping the website and prepping registration and everything for that. It doesn't open until April, but that comes up a lot faster when baseball season starts to come up as well. Along with that, I've been doing a lot of preparations with baseball. I did a pretty big supply order. I've been taking in registrations, answering questions. Specifically though, as far as registration numbers go, Commissioner Nybo, we have T-ball at 14 residents, 31 non-residents for a total of 45 total. 31% is the Corcoran resident rate right now. Coach pitch is 12 residents, 55 non-residents, 67 total, 18% Corcoran. So that one drops a little bit. But then machine pitch brings it back up with 8 residents, 16 non-residents, 24 total for 33% Corcoran residents, which brings the grand total overall to 27% Corcoran residents, which is the highest thus far. However, I will note, we are only maybe halfway through registration, and I would anticipate a lot more come through. Ideally, I'd like to see a lot more Corcoran residents, but generally towards the end, we find that it's a variety of cities, not just Corcoran, so. But still exciting. We're still moving up in terms of Corcoran percentages. Other things, ice rinks, so coordinating with the Public Works Department on opening the rinks. I don't know if anyone has heard, but we do not have the warming house open this year. And we did get kind of a late start, as a lot of other cities did. If you haven't noticed, it's been very wild weather this winter between the snow, and then it gets really hot, and then it gets really cold, and then it snows again.
And it rains too.
And then it rains when you're trying to get donations.
Was there
So-
something wrong with the warming house? Or you didn't have a
So
run it or?
it's a combination of a few things. With the late start to the season, we had a couple of interested parties that would have been ice rink attendants. We had one that was pretty much ready for hire, but then we had another one who hadn't even interviewed yet. It sounded like we probably weren't going to be opening the rinks, so we ended up calling them off and just saying, unfortunately, we're so far into the season that getting you trained in, getting all of these ducks in a row,
Yeah.
you're
bad.
training for essentially a week, maybe a week and a half of work, unfortunately. And so is that what outweighs what? And so the decision was made to ultimately keep it closed this year, but ideally we'd like to have it open next year, assuming that we're not breaking ground. Well, I suppose the building wouldn't be impacted by that, but So I reached out to schools. If you guys have any ideas, I mean, schools, Indeed, we sent it out on social media, we sent it out in the newsletter. I mean,
Nobody,
On
no,
the electronic sign for a long
long time, the website.
Mhm.
I was making ruthless plugs at special events. The JC Santa visit, I was like, hey, anyone want to be an ice rink attendant? I tried, guys. I'm really,
Yeah, you did.
Mhm.
so
wow.
unfortunately, unless you guys know some people, I've heard other cities had similar problems, and then I heard other cities had no issues and they had an abundance that they had to turn away.
Hmm.
So it's just like everywhere right now. Then finally, Night to Night 2023, we're beginning the planning process for that. So
Busy.
in the
Good.
best way.
In the best way. All right. All right, let's see, city council report. Councilmember Nichols is still
Is that a-
not there, all right. Commissioner term updates, so we did that. Garden club report. Garden club is probably gonna have a midwinter meeting,
Mhm.
garden dream meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. Here's the opportunity, I suppose, to put in the plug for the tree giveaway. Um,
Yeah, tell us your plan, Tom. You have a,
we have a new scheme, right? We call it a scheme.
It's on here.
What has happened is demand for the trees is high. We give them all away every year. And people have figured out the system, which is that you can place an order at a certain time, and we have a huge rush because their favorite trees disappear early.
Mhm.
So Jessica is going to work her computer magic to we'll pick, I don't know, 10 or 12 different kinds of trees and shrubs to get, just like we always have. But I'm not going to order them yet. Then we will get the website updated and we will receive requests, but like for a week or 10 days. And then everybody who makes that request will be in that first group. And then we will sort of in some random way, take those names and fill orders. So that just because you called in at 2 minutes after 12 on that first, 1 minute after 12 on that first day, doesn't mean that you're first on the list. So that just to kind of take that, it's supposed to be fun, having people trying to dial in for their trees that's not quite the spirit that we're looking for here.
Yeah.
So, and then, but then pretty soon, but that hopefully that first day, we will not have to say, oh, we've already given away all the balsam fir, because I will have ordered 100. Because I haven't ordered any yet.
Right.
So we'll get through many of the orders, and then I will make the order from that. And Eric over at Wright County says that shouldn't be a problem. That it is really unlikely that they would be out of any of those trees. So then whatever, it's a little complicated because you have to order only in bundles of 25.
Mhm.
So the trees, there will still be a case where, Nannyberry, which may or may not get many people, 3 will have been ordered. So we still have 22 that we need to give away. So people coming in later may have fewer choices, but we should cut down on the number of people who don't get what they want.
Mhm.
And I think I'm going to ask in the advertising, say, if you've ordered trees for several years, don't order right away. Wait a little while, let some other people get it. And I think we'll just try that, see if people respond. Rather, as opposed to kind of saying, no, you ordered the last 3 years, you can't order this year. See how that works.
Sure.
That's the plan. We'll see how it goes. It'll take more work to get that together, but I think it'll be more people will get the kind of stuff kind of trees they want.
And it's the first year they're doing online ordering.
Well,
Yeah, so that'll be
Oh,
interesting
yes,
to see
yes.
how
see how.
that all plays out.
Yes.
We've inspired them.
Yeah. First come, first serve.
Let's hope not.
They sell thousands of trees. I mean, it is a bunch.
What do you think are usually the big hits in your experience?
Uh,
Is it all
it's conifers.
evergreens?
Conifers, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Evergreens.
Okay.
And then there will be, last year there was some acacia berries,
Yeah,
something that had been in the news as a superfood, and
Right.
that just disappeared. So there's something that has had a little press somewhere else.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, I
it could be currants this year, you know.
mhm,
And then otherwise, it's just sort of a surprise as to what goes, you know, and we probably won't list Chinese chestnuts. We
yeah,
have enough foreign trees.
right.
We have nice natives. Those are better. You know,
Mhm.
those fit. But
Those
I'm
good
sure that
nuts
I'm
are-
sure that the Chinese chestnuts make chestnuts and the wildlife loves it, but
That was the one with the blight, right? Chestnut trees?
yes, yeah, American chestnut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Country used to be covered in chestnut trees and then there was a blight and killed them all. Yeah, from another part of the world.
Yes.
They brought over something.
But otherwise it's nice trees, you know.
I know
I
you don't like them, but I've had a lot of success with white pine. My white pine grow like crazy and it's just wet clay soil and they're very, very happy. They're huge. I mean,
get big.
yeah,
Yeah, they do. And they're pretty. They both
yeah, I love
beautiful,
them.
long and pretty, yep.
The other things have been eaten by deer, so
Ah.
everything else.
So I'm sure open for suggestions on that. Just let me know.
Yeah,
We're gonna make the choices in the next couple days. Park dedication fund.
You'll notice about $47,000 difference since the last time you saw it.
Seems like a lot of money, doesn't
When I say $47,000, it does, and then you look down and you see it compared to everything else. and
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like, Well,
it? All right, other business. The liaison schedule, I suppose, Meister, you'll want to be off that list, huh?
mhm.
Thankfully,
Hey, those meetings only go till like 3 a.m, so. Jeez.
Will you put out then for applications then? Why not?
Yep, that'll be the next step, but I had to wait. Make
Yeah.
sure that Sharon absolutely didn't want to do it.
Can I ask a quick question? Over on, remember the trees that were accidentally cut down
Right.
back in October?
Yes.
Have we heard anything on what was done with?
No,
It was Trevera.
Tavera, yeah.
Mhm.
Trevera.
I'll add it to my check-in list and put it on the email you guys are getting.
Perfect.
Can I assume that I'm March 9th? The 10th is a Friday.
Then yes.
Okay.
Yep. Sorry about that,
It's okay.
which means the 23rd for March is also it. Oh, just disregard this entire thing, my goodness.
Calendar were you using?
I have no idea.
1923.
I'd be the one to do that.
9/23.
Well,
13 and 27 for March, not 7 and 21. My goodness, the last 4 dates are all wrong. Okay. So you got Commissioner Strahler, who went to the 26th. I can vouch for her. She was there. The 9th of February is Commissioner Friedrich. The 23rd of February is Commissioner Nybo. The 9th of March is Commissioner Weifels. The 23rd of March is Commissioner Christensen. The 13th of April is Chairperson Anderson. And then it's TBD for April 27th. I apologize for all those typos. I can get the minutes right, but the
Yes.
agenda is where I draw the line.
Last year's gal.
All right, good.
Mm.
Any other business? Other than to say thank you, Sharon.
Oh, you're welcome. I
Yeah.
think I go to one more meeting. No,
Yeah.
I think the terms go
Yes.
to the end of.
Yep,
the-
you'll have February left. and
Yeah.
Don't worry, you get to see her smiling face just. one way.
Yeah. Yay.
Does she want to switch on my council meeting?
Please,
One more.
yes.
Probably getting into a council meeting. Except for the resolution.
That's okay if they don't.
Oh, they will.
I already tried, just said it's
Really?
the same for everybody.
Yeah,
Dang it. Okay,
I'll just be in the background with the giant poster board. don't
okay, in front. That'd
worry.
be,
Cheer and yawn.
that'd be good.
All right, Chair will receive a motion to adjourn.
I moved
Motion
it.
to adjourn. I was gonna say, somebody speak up.
Second it.
Second, discussion. All in favor?
I.
Opposed? Thank you all. Under an hour. That's good.